I am going to show an update on my kitchen indoor mini greenhouses. I have a lot of tomatoes growing. I put all my tomatoes up here on the top shelf. There's beefsteak and romas, along with this jar back here, this in rooting water. It is a whole, I think, a dozen of Concord grapes. They're propagating and rooting in water, and they're doing really well. Look at all that green foliage. So healthy, and I'm excited that experiment is going great, so I get more great plants. And I had to up pot some romas. They're getting pretty big in this greenhouse because the grow lights are working. So this top shelf, I put them all up here because it gets a lot more growing space compared to any other shelf that has a little bit of a narrower space. And I have my alpine strawberries, this whole kit from Dollar Tree. It was only $5. Some have sprouted. Doesn't look like there's very many, but it's fine. I have 4 loofahs. There's 4 loofah plants in here. They're growing really good. You have to get an early start on those. So they're up here with the tomatoes. And down here, what's going to go with the tomatoes is this whole tray of marigolds for pest control. And I have a lot of peppers. So in these cups, different varieties, hot and sweet peppers. And this whole tray, nothing has sprouted in it yet. It is basil. They will be also growing with the tomato garden for sort of like a salsa garden with all these peppers and basil and tomatoes. And then down here I have I have some empty trays I need to, fill. And these are more peppers. And some bell peppers. And the peppers are doing good. And then down there is just extra potting mix and some trash bags. And over here, underneath this one grow light, it is my sweet potato slips. And they're sprouting. It took a really long time, but they sprouted. I have this plastic on it so I can keep the potatoes wet, because this heat makes it dry out really fast. And to get them to sprout, it needs to be a humid environment, so I need to keep them wet. And so I'll just mist them with a spray bottle and put the plastic back on. And then when they're sprouting really well, I will remove it. And I have these herbs under here. I try to spread out so not anything is right directly under it to get burned or whatever, because it is really warm. But I have herbs growing, and all of these herbs in these biodegradable pots are from Spade to Fork. And I'm excited about the basil and the sage. Which one is this? The sage looks like it needs some help. I can replant some, and it looks like one's popping up right there. My herbs in this kit are not doing too well. And back there I have a bellflower, I think. It is a plant I am babysitting for a friend. She brought over to put in my mini greenhouse and try to save it for her. And then I have some dill. I am so excited about this dill plant. And it's too early to get it outside. It's too cold. Dill loves cold, but it is going to snow, and I can't just put a brand new transplant. I have to start hardening that off this week, and along with this whole row of broccoli. They all need to be and these chives and green onions. They all need to be hardened off and taken outside to the spring garden. So I'm actually gonna put this dill, whoops, with these guys so that I'll remember this whole shelf right here needs to go outside and in, out and in all week long. So I'll put like a little note right here to let me, well, if it's empty, the shelf is empty at night, I'm gonna be like, oh, I need to bring them back in, because I don't want to leave them out there at night because it gets down into the teens, and when I'm harding them off I need to bring them back inside. So yeah, if I have them all on the same shelf, take them all out, which I need to do right now, and then take them back in the morning when I know when I'm turning off this whole light system, if that shelf is empty, I'll know, hey, I need to bring them in. And down here I have another empty shelf or tray I need to fill, so I got more planting to do. And this is my herbal tea garden. Yeah, I have all my labels on the side. Medicinal tea garden tray, and they're doing so good. This is chamomile. Let's see what I got in here. I can't remember. They all look, I know what they look like when they're bigger, but not when they're like little like this. This is chamomile and lavender, because I put chamomile and lavender together. And the rosemary is probably this row right here. Oregano, basil, and thyme. Yeah, thyme looks like the same every time I look at it. Yeah, that's thyme. It's a very mix. I put them in rows. I did a video on this when I did this. I planted them in rows that way. I probably should, everybody's reaching towards one direction. I should probably turn it and rotate it. That's what I've been doing, so that they all you know, go the other way. I usually keep a gap right here because I put cups in there, but right now there isn't any, you know, cups. I have a lot more planting to do because I have a lot more space. I could put more things up here that I can get in the spring garden and start summer crops that I need to start some more that do not need to be direct sowed. I mean that, yeah. Well, I can't plant squash and all that stuff. Those have to be direct sown into the garden, and it's not time for that. And then down at below I have my garden stuff, my garden tools, and I save these coffee things for up planting. And I have more trays, and I had a mouse recently die, and this was his hay that he was nibbling on. I'm not going to get another critter to take care of. He was more like a rescue, so I can use that in my strawberry garden, my strawberry tower, like for insulation, so it's not going to go to waste. But that is my seed starting setup.